Welcome to the Virginia Coalition Against Human Trafficking. In this presentation, we will cover VCAHT's mission, vision, brief history, 2026 legislation priorities, membership, and the actions that are needed. VCAHT is an alliance of service providers, attorneys, survivor advocates, and community members on a mission to remove barriers preventing survivors from achieving a full and healthy life through public awareness campaigns, policy reform, and enacting survivor-centered human trafficking legislation. The Virginia Coalition Against Human Trafficking envisions a world where A, survivors of human trafficking are treated like victims and not criminals. B, survivors are completely supported in their healing journey toward a full and healthy life. And C, Virginia's policies and legislative framework are wholly consistent with these objectives at every level of federal, state, and local government. In its first meeting in May of 2011, government, non-government, and state and federal law enforcement agencies met to unite and address the issue of human trafficking in Virginia from a policy and legislative standpoint. This led to Virginia going from being graded as one of the worst states regarding the inadequacy of its response to human trafficking to the highest level grade in Polaris's report in 2013, per their standards at that time. Member organizations participated in the Kids Are Not for Sale movement in 2015, which led to the first stand-alone sex trafficking statute in Virginia. Efforts helped move Virginia from the grade F to C in Shared Hope International State Report Card, which annually evaluates the effectiveness of each state's response to minors victimized by human trafficking by a growing list of criterion. In 2018, resurrection of the expungement effort and the enlistment of new organizations in the effort led to significant legislation being enacted in 2019 following a Virginia Crime Commission study. This included the appointment of a state coordinator designed to increase the effectiveness of Virginia's overall response to human trafficking and to unify its efforts. In 2021, vacatur and affirmative laws were enacted, allowing survivors of sex trafficking to move to remove prostitution and bawdy house charges from their records or raise an affirmative defense to these charges at trial. In 2026, we continue to grow and amend the Code of Virginia and other policies. For 2026, VCAHT's legislative priorities include amending the right of vacatur and affirmative defense bills to expand eligibility to certain criminal offenses and to clean up victim of trafficking definitions so that juvenile engaging in survival sex are clearly covered under both statutes. Non-criminalization of minors engaging in sex work or forced criminality, constitutional amendment allowing funds obtained through human trafficking forfeiture actions to be returned to localities to survivor services and law enforcement efforts to combat human trafficking. The present law sends the money back to the General Literary Fund for Virginia. Mandatory training for law enforcement, judges, hotel and hospitality industries, primary and secondary teachers, and school faculty and hospital staff. Expanding access to justice for survivors through increased civil legal services, particularly for custody and family law cases. Expanding funding for housing options, including housing that is not just shelter placement, and exploring programs to encourage home ownership among survivors. VCAHT is largely supported by its members who are dedicated to fulfilling the mission. Membership levels include advocate, advisor, executive, and survivor. Each membership level has varying responsibilities and fees associated with them. To learn more, visit the above link. Whether as a member or as a concerned community member, there is plenty you can do. 1. Join us and become a member. We need voices throughout Virginia to come together and impact change. Help us engage with our community and further the impact. You can donate your talents in grant writing, marketing, social media, web design and maintenance, policy writing, event planning, and more. As a member, you too can become a board member or join our advisory team for even further impact. Two, you can give. Your donation helps us spread the word regarding the need for policy reform and help us compensate survivors who give their time, energy, and expertise to meet with legislators. You can contact your legislators. Whether by call, email, snail mail, or a visit, you can greatly impact the ability to get significant legislation passed. Contact your legislators concerning the 2026 legislation priorities. Additionally, you can contact your local law enforcement agencies to ask what they are doing to impact human trafficking and support human trafficking survivors. You can talk to your friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, and lawmakers about human trafficking survivors in Virginia who are waiting for the relief they deserve. You can invite VCAT to speak to your civic group, school, church, or other community group, and you can become an intern. Interns work with VCAT on legislation, event planning, and development in exchange for educational credit. For more information, visit www.vcat.org for more information. Thank you.